ever went to and said, hey, do you want to know more about this opportunity? Would you consider joining my team? Never, not once have I ever done that. Every single one of my recruits have come to me. Well, why? Well, let's talk about it. Why do you recruit? Okay, foundational business practice. Basically, nobody wants to be salesy, but let's face it, we're in sales as a direct sales company, and this is part of a direct sales plan. You can be an amazing seller. You could have 5,000 PRD every single month, but if you aren't recruiting and you don't have a substantial team underneath you, you're not really going to go very far, unfortunately. So recruiting is a huge part of our business model. Offering a solution for a problem. Basically, how I interpret that is, again, when I recruited, all those people came to me. Well, they came to me because I was excited about this opportunity. They were able to see how it changed my financial situation. So I tried to target an audience that, if I have a family member or a friend who I know is in a bad financial place, I kind of try to show them the opportunity that Jamberry has. So we want to offer a solution for their problem. And then obviously fun, financial flexibility, freedom, and friendships. Jamberry is fun. We love it. I went from being in a really bad financial place to, having the house. I wound up buying a car. I don't have any, credit card bills. I'm financially free other than like my house payment and my car payment, which is amazing. And the amazing friendships that I made. Hallie, our wonderful presenter, we did not know each other, like she said earlier in her presentation. Sorry, I keep thinking that it's the coffee. If anyone was here for the first session, I drink decaf, and I would drink a cup of coffee and sat down, and I started feeling really jittery, and I warned everyone, I'm like, if you want decaf, don't drink the decaf here, because I don't think it's decaf. But now I'm just realizing, I think it's just my nerves, and probably the fact that I only had 2.5 hours of sleep last night. Hallie had mentioned earlier how, I was doing a party for a mutual friend of ours, and I got lucky enough to find a best friend through Jamberry, so that was amazing. That's my little cheesy, heartwarming thing for the day. So who do you recruit? Obviously, your number one prospect is your hostesses. Why is that? Because they're seeing firsthand what you do for a job. They get, especially if you're doing an in-home party, they get to sit in and watch you do your thing and realize how easy this is, how fortunate we are to have this business that is so easy to do and fun for us. So even with your Facebook parties too, a lot of times, at least in my experience and with my downline, most of our recruits are past hostesses for us. Then your friends, family, and acquaintances. Those people, obviously, they're easier to talk to. It's not reaching out to strangers who you don't know. It's easier to go to a sister, a cousin, a friend, and say, I have this great opportunity. Would you like to join me? And it's a lot easier to approach somebody that we're comfortable with. And then, obviously, our cold market, which would be from vendor events, leads from either contacts at vendor events or just, that person you went to high school with, the woman you went to high school with 10 years ago who sent you the random Facebook message like, hey, tell me more about this Jamberry. How many times has that happened to you? Probably quite a bit, right? And then party guests, because again, like the hostess, they have seen how easy it is, what we do, and it's interesting, and who wouldn't want to get paid to have pretty nails and hang out and eat snacks and, just have fun at parties. How do you, yes, I like snacks. I hear you guys like snacks, yes. I always make sure my in-home parties have snacks. I'm like, if you're not gonna provide snacks, let me know because I'll bring them. So how do we recruit? Open your mouth. So we have, you'll hear, I think Alicia said it before, and you may hear it later, we have this thing that we call Jamberry vomit. Because we get so excited, and when people ask us about it, it's just kind of like we open our mouth and all this Jamberry starts flowing out, and people are like, whoa. So opening your mouth about it. It's very easy for us. I feel like as a Jamberry consultant, it's just a natural reaction for us. And that's how we get it out there. Sharing your excitement, obviously I make sure, and I train my team as well, that hashtag because of Jamberry has been amazing, because I find ways to at least 2 or 3 times a week put something on my personal Facebook page that's not straight up, you know, here's my website, buy this, but I mention the fact of how something Jamberry has changed in our life a couple of times a week, because people are watching. They may not comment. We all know this. They may not comment right away. It may take months. I've been doing this for 2 years, and I had a friend just reach out to me yesterday like, hey, what's your website? I think I'm going to finally try these Jamberry things, like 2 years later. So it does happen. So always share your excitement and making connections and follow-up. Obviously, with wearing our jams all the time, you go into the bank, you go into the doctor's office, we're wearing them, people are always like, oh my God, your nails are so cute, and that just, those are leads. So what I do, this is just like a side tip that wasn't in my little script, but when I'm out and I'm wearing them and I get somebody, I think the hardest part for people is that follow-up. It's very easy to say, oh, here's my business card and a sample. But for me, at least 9 times out of 10, I don't ever hear from that person ever again. So I've made it a habit, sorry, I'm so tired. I've made it a habit to, when I give out a sample, I make sure I get their information. And there's sneaky little ways you can do that without like being annoying or salesy or pressuring them. I'll just say, oh hey, here's a sample. Give me your number, I'll text you an application video right now. And then you could just save my number in your phone. And then they tell me their number and their name, and I save it, and I'll put like JB for Jamberry next to it, and I'll put like where we met, like if it's in the bank or something, so I could like reference that person. I'll text them the video while we're right there. They're not even suspecting, and then guess what? A week later, I'm following up with them like, hey, this is Rachel. Remember we met at the bank? It's already in my phone. I know, and that's how I do my follow-up with people that I just give random samples to. So that's my random tip of the day. Why don't people join your team? You don't ask, right? Nobody ever wants to ask for some reason. I don't understand why are we not asking? We have the privilege of working for a company that we give opportunity. It's not a hard job. Anybody can do it. Even men who like don't even like sport it. We have a male team manager in the company. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's very easy. Anybody can do it. So just ask. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? People say no. Oh my God, that's terrible. Your message is blurry. Confusion pushes people away. Again, that kind of goes back to the whole Jamberry word vomit thing. When people ask, if you give them way too much information, it's going to confuse them. They're going to think it's way more complicated than what it is. So just be aware when people ask about the opportunity to keep it basic. Don't throw all this stuff at them. It isn't for them, and that's okay. Keep your love on. Don't get insulted. People are going to say no, and that's fine. You just move on to the next one. That's all. It's not really a big deal. This is not for everybody. People, I have women say, well, I really have a lot of women say to me, well, I don't like people. I don't want to talk to people. And it's like, okay, well, then we can do a Facebook party and you don't have to talk to people. It's fine, I have a ton of successful girls on my team. We also have a successful leader here tonight, Lauren, who doesn't like talking to people, but that hasn't stopped her from being successful. So we have options. But if they do, come at you and they say, no, this is not something I'm interested in, that's fine, move on to the next, no big deal. So recruiting can be one of the most challenging and rewarding business activities within the scope of your career. Hone your recruiting skills, teach others how to develop theirs, and your business will boom. So that's just kind of like my wrap-up thing.
Wishful thinking?
Basically saying, I really want a nap right now. It's like too much thinking. I don't have notes. I'm just like trying to wing it here. Like my nerves are all kinds of crazy right now. Thank you. It's been a long day. But yeah, my focus is I feel like I don't need to actively recruit. I feel like I just need to put my passion for Jamberry out there and people come to me. And I really teach that with my team as well. I work with them a lot about the hashtag because of Jamberry. I think that's such a great thing because now Facebook has that awesome search function now over the last few months that people could go in that search bar and put in hashtag because of Jamberry, and then all it is all these amazing stories of how Jamberry has changed lives. That's such a great marketing tool for us, and it's free. Like, that's what I love about this company is there's so many ways we could recruit and market our business that's free, and it's just about being passionate and loving what you do. I love what I do. I love this company. So I'm not going to talk anymore because I'm going to start crying. I feel it coming. I already cried this morning. I'm like, I'm not crying for the afternoon session, but I feel it coming, so I'm going to cut it off. So, thanks so much. Our next presenter is Lauren Jackson, and she's going to talk to us about follow-up.